All right, guys, welcome to the channel. Today I got an interview with Iron Eye. He's remaking his own. Well, he's making his own version of Pirate Software's game Heartbound, and he's trying to see how long it actually really takes to create a game of this substance, right? So,
Yep.
Phil, tell us who you are. What do you like? Who are you, man? Like, why? And what's going on?
My name's Phil. My YouTube channel is Iron Eye Games. Uh, Games is a little bit ambitious of a title though, because I'm not. I mean, I guess I can call myself an indie developer, but I have not actually, released any games. So that's one of my objectives is to actually get something out there with this for
Hell yeah,
once
dude.
and for all, right?
Hell yeah, hell yeah. You haven't released any games yet.
No, no. I mean, I have. I guess I can say technically I have finished games, but they would be like school projects, right? So I don't really count those. I went to a school for I don't ever want to say the school, but I have a programming degree, we'll say that.
Okay.
And we did gaming projects, and so multiple single person projects, a few group projects. Generally we don't really count those as you know finished games if they're not like released onto like for somebody to buy, so
Okay.
I
Okay.
still consider myself as like not, I don't know.
Bro,
uh
just because you're, if you just because you're not releasing anything doesn't mean you're not an indie developer. This is a practice. It takes. I mean, it takes time and years of dedication to actually finish something and practice. I've been stuck in some people call it development hell, where you kind of like start a project up. You kind of like you experiment and do a little thing, and then you like put the project down. You never actually finish anything. I've been there. I feel like most of us have been there, and some of us are still there. It's just it's. I think it comes down to it's not even like a motivation or dedication thing. It's like it's just seeing what you want to do, right? And then kind of it's just experimenting and learning. You learn a lot from doing these little projects and things if you don't complete things. I also went to a school. I'm not sure if you're okay with me mentioning the name because I think we talked a little bit before.
yeah, we did.
Are you fine with me mentioning it, or do you not?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, so I went to Full Sail University. It's what kind of college would you call it? The artsy college, like a tech college? I don't know. But I went.
College, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I went for game design. I got a bachelor's in game design, and I graduated in 2021. And I did the same thing. Did little projects with groups and stuff, and then I was actually able to um, release a game with the one of the teams there called Zygobot Studios. Zygobot Studios is like it was like a degree. It was for the master degree students to release games, and I was able to like my first year I was doing level designs and like posting them on YouTube and shit. And then I was able to get scooped up. I met some people on the esports team, and they're like, "Yo, we need, I saw your level designs. You should do this." So I was able to do that and release a game while I was in Full Sail. Were you what program did you take in Full Sail? Was it game design?
It was game development,
Game
so
development.
similar
Okay.
to game design. Yeah,
Right.
basically, as far as I know, like game design is more of like the like visual and like audio aspect, right? Is that kind of right?
Um, it was more like it was kind of script kiddie. Like we went through like uh, just different design practices on like how things fit, how things should like work inside of a game. Level design, for instance, like how to set up. Um, I forgot what they call it. Like points in a game, like points of interest, POIs. Like let's say you're like walking in like an open field and you see like a giant tower in the background. That's a point of interest, and how to set up a game to either drive the narrative or drive the gameplay. Gameplay too, coming up with like game gameplay loops and stuff like that. It didn't get it got a little bit into programming. It was C sharp. Whenever I went, we were using Unity. I think they're using Unreal now. We played around with Unreal a little bit, but it was we worked on a project called Scraps at the time, like for learning purposes, and it was just simple things. Had to push boxes around and set up triggers and stuff like that. It was really like go off and learn it on your own. So I'm curious if you had the same experience. Like, did they actually teach you, or was it like, yeah, this is here's the project, and kind of like let you go off on your own and do it? Because my teachers were kind of lackluster.
So it sounds like game design, and yeah, this sounds about right. So game design was more about like the actual, well, design of a game. I mean, yeah, that sounds kind
Yeah.
of obvious, but like game development was more about like how do you program the systems that you might need to make a game or something similar to a game at least. I mean, you can apply these things to like other things, things other than games. Just like how to like well, yeah, it's literally just like how to program anything. Like is pretty much what those classes were about. So like uh there were, classes on OpenGL, on data structures,
Really
on yeah, on like
cool.
internet protocol and stuff like that for like, uh let's see, WinSock, like connecting to like servers or something like that.
Okay.
So, it was more about like the I guess like yeah, the technical like how to like actually like program it, I guess. If you were doing it like manually. I don't know if they even still do that because I know that like as the years have gone by, things have shifted to like using engines. So
When
when
I was there, they did have a game development course. Not They had a game development and game design course, and I actually went to go do the game dev course or game development course, but I'm lazy and I didn't want to do all the they make you take an extra math class, and I was like, fuck that shit. So
yeah, that you have to take math class. Oh my God, I still don't know how I got through those math classes because I mean, I'm decent at math. I'm not good at math. I'm decent.
mm,
So one of the most advanced class that as far as math wise it got to was calculus. And I had
lots of
I
vector math, like operate, like X, Y, and Z, vector
uh, I
triangles.
I think vector math is like geometry actually. So this was
Okay, all right.
calculus. It I don't even remember any of it because
It's been
I just
years.
remember like really struggling through it. There were like differentials or something like that. I think that's what they were called, or like functions. Like you would have like f of x. I don't even remember how it works,
Okay.
but like it was way beyond what I should be able to grasp. And I remember struggling as I got through calculus specifically, but I barely got through it. uh,
But you
I
did
mean,
it. You graduated, right? You graduated?
yeah, I
Hell
graduated.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I mean, I don't know if you knew this, but if you were allowed to fail a class in Full Sail, but like if you did, you just had to like retake it until you pass it.
Yeah, yeah, I knew
So
that. But you had to pay $500. Trust me, I know. I had to go through and
yeah.
I failed. Damn, it was project management. It's like doing Scrum shit. I failed the Scrum stuff because they really wanted you to be like followed to like the T on how to like write a work item and stuff like that. It's pretty fucking annoying actually.
Yeah, I failed more than one class when I was going through there. So I mean, I'm very much like a B minus C plus student. So I'm not like an expert programmer or anything like that.
Yeah,
And that's
same.
actually part of why I'm doing this
Okay.
because it's just kind of it's a little like this is not something that I'm going into with like full confidence, I guess is what I should say. Like I'm kind of doing this to like see how I can manage this myself. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, let's back up for a second. What are you making?
So I am making a parody game that is more or less parodying Heartbound, which is Pirate Software's game, and it's not aiming to be a copy. I should say that. Um, I'm trying to do something that's like my own interpretation of things, and I that's for several reasons. I want to not make it a copy because
Illegal
Well,
issues,
number
yeah,
one, I
for
don't want
one.
to. What'd you say?
I said legal issues for one.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. I don't want to infringe. And even if I could get away with it, I still wouldn't want to. And I actually mean that. Like, uh, in certain cases, developers can actually get away with like pretty much infringing if they just argue that they've changed enough and they can like kind of get away with it. And like I'll give you an example. Like I'm quite sure. Okay, you know Flappy Bird, right? The game
Yes.
Flappy Bird.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm quite sure. I mean, I haven't even like looked this up, but I'm pretty sure like there are clones of Flappy Bird
Well,
on
of
the internet.
course, that's a big thing that's going on nowadays with like Nintendo and Power World. They're trying to copyright mechanics, and I don't think you should be able to do that. The Flappy Bird thing is kind of like a mechanic or like a theme really because it's dodging or it's threading the needle by pressing space or tapping on the screen, right? You know,
Yeah,
that's a design choice. I don't think that should be something that should be copyrightable. Now, if someone were to come out and like do a one-to-one, this is, you know, and even call it Flappy Bird. I mean, even Flappy Bird was using Mario assets at the time. So I don't even know how they got away with it. I mean, back then it was kind of like no holds bar on like indie stuff, and you know, mobile games were like a new you know a new market, and it was just like one of the biggest things that kind of came out of it. But from what I see, man, like it doesn't. This doesn't really like. It's not a. This isn't a one to one. This is definitely looks like a retelling or kind of like again a parody. You have things that reference IRL situations like the wizard hat and like the knotted staff. I get the joke.
right.
Uh,
Yeah,
and I see that you have like little, you know, like the log pushing puzzle and stuff like that. But this to me, more or less looks like old school Zelda, like top down old school RPG Zelda, where you're like slashing through bushes with your sword and exploring the world and finding items and stuff. I say Heartbound, like, you know, while they say it's a narrative story, yours has a charm that's going to go beyond because it's not only parody, but it's also introducing things to do in the game besides fucking just walking around and listening to story. Um, you
oh,
know,
I appreciate it.
yeah, this
Thank you.
no, I like the game. I think it looks great. I'll definitely play it whenever you're finished with it. You know, it's a good laugh. It's definitely looks like a good laugh. Would you describe it as like a parody of just like the whole situation, basically, like the
Yeah, that's pretty much
Heartbound,
what it is. Now.
yeah, the Heartbound and the Pirate Software stuff? Because you have stuff in here like I'm looking at Snowstorm Interactive. His name is
Yeah,
Odin, you know, and his dog's name is Kronos. Like these are obvious references to the you know the
situation. Yeah.
yeah, the whole situation. So and you're using the game as a medium, so you're combining, you know, it's a parody of Heartbound, but it's also like referencing IRL drama and combining the two. So I would say this would not fall under a copyright situation or anything like that because it is obviously this is way out of I'd be hard pressed if any judge would be like, yeah, this is infringement, just because the house layout is the same. You know what I mean? Um,
Right. Yeah.
you know, this is obvious. The art style is different. There's more dialogue with your dad. Characters' names are changed. You wear wizard hats. You actually have combat in the game. So I don't think anything like I don't think you have anything to worry about as far as DMCA or copyright. Even if you were to release this on Steam and sell it, I
Yeah.
think you could sell this. But I'm not a
It's
lawyer,
possible.
so
Yeah, it's possible. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's if I mean, if anything, I would say, look, I actually wrote this in a reply just earlier today. But if anything, I'm 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 copying Secret of Evermore. I'm
yeah,
really
that's fair.
I'm trying to make my game more like Secret of Evermore,
Well,
which I have some more things to say about later on probably
okay.
regarding that game because that's a big like Secret of Evermore is like a big reason that I'm making this project in the first place.
Okay, fair
I should
enough.
say.
Not since we're mentioning it, like we were talking about copying gameplay mechanics and like game style. That's a lot of stuff has just been done before, and it's up to like indie developers. A lot of indie developers nowadays are taking old ideas and kind of redoing them. You know what I mean? Like I was working
Yep.
on a Cross Swords kind of clone, which was like a Neo Geo game back on the arcade. It's a there's room for both. It's not even like copying. It's bringing it to a modern audience, right? So, but
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah, going for because well, even now, like Gawkbound, the game I'm working on now, is a parody, about YouTube and commentary, but it's also like a rendition of Earthbound, right? So, but
yeah.
all right, moving on. Why are you making this game?
So okay, so I have like several reasons for this. The first, like most, I guess, straightforward answer is I think it'll be funny, and I think I'll be able to make something that's like fun to play.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
fair.
and then just to make a game, and get it out there. Um, that's not really the interesting answer though. So the real reason that I'm making this game is because of Heartbound, and the situation that Heartbound has been in and is still in. So I mean, I imagine most people watching this video are aware of this, but if not, so Heartbound, has been in development since 2015,
Yep.
and he launched his Pirate launched his Kickstarter for Heartbound in early 2017, and he passed it, and he made like almost $20,000 from the Kickstarter,
Yep. Yep.
and the estimated delivery date was later that year, the same year, December 2017, and
He's a liar.
it's so it's 2025 now, and the game is still not done. So on top of the 20,000 that he made from the Kickstarter, he has also, I mean, it's hard for anybody to deny at this point that he has used Heartbound as kind of like a figurative backdrop for his own career. And that has made him a lot of money. And I have a problem with that because there are people who have paid for Heartbound.
Right.
That's it. That's basically it. Like there are people who paid money to support him either directly for like directly buying Heartbound, like either from the Kickstarter, either from Steam, or either, just kind of like supporting his stream. And they're kind of like indirectly supporting Heartbound uh if they like donate to his stream, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people's money matters. You know what I mean? Like I don't like the idea that a lot of people have essentially bought the product and supported the product, and they are just told, year after year,
I'm 90.
oh, it's
I'm
almost
90.
done.
Yeah, I'm 90%
It's almost done. It's
completed.
almost done. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like it's like I'm pretty sure there was a post from like 2 or 3 years ago saying that the game is like 90% done, and now
Animus. It
he's
was yeah.
saying,
It was the chapter Animus. Saying it was like 90% done. He's been saying that shit for years.
yeah,
Um.
and so it's like, and I just have an issue with that. So there was the other piece of criticism that I've gotten so far in the comments is that it's lame. Like it's lame to do a project like this because you're just trying to show that you're a better coder. And that is 100% not one of the reasons I'm doing this at all.
I'd say
Uh,
it's like for the lulls, man. Like you don't
yeah,
need like not everything needs to be like a proving ground or anything like that. Like I make shit just because I like making people laugh and I like to laugh and I want to get my ideas out on fucking paper and make them.
no, I mean, yeah, that is also, of course, like 100% valid. But I just, yeah, it's like it's absolutely not about like, oh, I want to be a better coder. You know what I mean? Because dude, I'm a very mediocre coder. I am uh
Are you just
my
wanting
code
to? Are you just want? Sorry. Are you just wanting to show people like it doesn't take that long to make a game of this substance while adding your own twist to it?
that is exactly it. Yes.
Okay.
Because at this point, um, I'm starting to wonder. It's not even really about pirate. It's
It's the image, man.
well, it's that it's also the defense that he gets, and it kind of like just confuses me. I guess it is a lack of a better word. Like my I guess I wonder because if somebody criticizes pirate and they say like it's been like so many it's been like 8 years like since people have supported your game on Kickstarter, like you need to like give them what they paid for.
And then everybody
And
else fucking
people,
jumps on him, yeah, or jumps on the person
right,
asking the
yeah,
question, yeah.
people will defend him, and fair enough. If you want to defend like somebody that you like somebody like somebody that you like to watch and stuff like that, like
All right.
obviously it's like natural to like want to like defend that person, but it at the same time it's the question I would ask is to them is at what point would you change your mind?
Right. Like
Is it
when is
never?
the spell broken, right?
Yes. And it's just like if like hypothetically if another year goes by, would you still feel the same way? And if the answer is yes, then what about if hypothetically another 2 years go by? It's like would you still
Well,
feel the same?
I
And
have
like I
my own
actually
theories. I have my own theories, and I it's catering to a certain community. That kind of does it. He's mentioned people have come out before and mentioned that it's about the furry stuff, right? And like those, like I mean, that group is just ride or die for anyone, like for their people. You know what I mean? It just like they have a very strong community, and they uplift their own basically. And he's been in
look,
that.
it could be.
That's my
it
that's my theory, anyways. That's my game theory. Okay, unlike
it
why he gets
could
so
be.
much blind support.
I mean it could at the very least there's probably some overlap of that community. Um, I probably wouldn't say that his entire community is of that community as well. I mean, it could be, but uh, but what I will say is it is it's kind of like sympathy inducing. I don't know how to like phrase it better. To see somebody in a situation where you kind of understand that they're being like strung along and like they don't really kind of see it themselves.
All right.
It kind of like
And it just
it's
you want to lead them to water, right? But they don't want to
yes,
drink, bro. They don't want to drink.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So
You're hoping that
so
this is
I mean
like the push, like maybe this is a push, to get people to open
it's
their
something
eyes.
at least. It's
Yeah.
something, yeah. I mean, and
It's a
it's look,
contribution to the whole, right?
yeah. And it's like as I said, it's like in the end, support who you want to support, obviously.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it hurts to see people, at least to perceive people as being used. I guess I don't know. That's just my view on it. When I see somebody who has like loads of money and they're saying a lot of words to people, and those people are giving them their money,
Yeah, they just suck
I
it all up,
I just
and he's not
I
producing. Yeah.
right. It's hard for me not to like at least be a little bit frustrated, like at the fact that those people are they think that they probably feel like they're doing the right thing, I guess.
Yeah.
And I feel like eventually, at some point in time, they might not have the same opinion as they do now, but now they do. So uh, I don't know. That's basically it about that. And I mean, I think everybody has been in situations, at least I certainly have, in their lives where like they've been involved with somebody who turned out to be not trustworthy, and they turned out to be somebody who, um, it's like you look back and you think back and like you're like, oh wow, like everything that they said, they were like BSing. Like I don't know. I feel like a lot of people have been in a situation like that. Like either you've had like a friend like that or like a coworker or something like that, and it's like you don't know immediately. You don't detect it immediately. Maybe you may feel like something's wrong, but like you don't immediately know that like you're being like like they're not being truthful or whatever. But then like at some point you figure it out and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, anyway, it on some level it kind of hurts to see people in that situation. So or it's at least frustrating, I should say.
Fair enough,
But
man.
yeah, and the other reason I'm doing this is he has well I guess I could call myself like a fan of RPGs. I wouldn't call myself like a huge like uh crazy fan. Like I've probably played like less than like 20 RPGs in my life. Like not that many, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, and that's including like consoles like Super Nintendo and like PC and stuff like that. So I don't even think I've played more than 20, but I do like them. I like RPGs, and I had a problem with the way that he called Heartbound an RPG, because he did call Heartbound an RPG in pretty much every like avenue, right? Like every avenue that he called it an RPG in his Kickstarter. He called it an RPG in his that interview that's online where he has like the different voice than he normally does.
Yeah.
He
What do
called
you
it like
what do you call it? What genre would you put it in?
that's a good question. I think Heartbound is hard to classify because there's not a lot of gameplay mechanics to like latch onto to call it something.
Well, you got your fetch
So I mean,
quest.
if
You
I
got
had,
your, the two. You got the two combat phases in the beginning. You got like I said, your fetch quest and shit. I don't even know, like minor puzzles, like very small puzzles. Most of it's fetch quests and shit. From what I've played.
it's even I'm not sure I could even call it an adventure game either because adventure game generally we think of an adventure game as at least like one step down from an RPG in
Mm-hmm.
terms of like complexity, right? So, but I don't even think I can call it an adventure game because in an adventure game, if you say that you're making an adventure game, you're going to assume that there are at least like lots of like items you can interact with and stuff like that. You can
To
like
make it an
investigate.
adventure, right? There's got to be like
Right,
adventure
yeah.
comes with like some sort of action. What would you be? How would you feel about calling it like a interactable, walkable visual novel, kind of like something
That's
within
kind of
that
where I
genre?
would, yeah, I
Yeah.
would say something like it's like a 2D visual novel with top-down view and the aesthetics of an RPG.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And
That makes
it's
sense.
like and that kind of that doesn't sit right with me because okay, there are certain things that there are certain features that RPGs have that are basically unique to RPGs, and they kind of like trigger something in your brain to like reaffirm that like this is an RPG. I think. I mean, I'm not like a psychologist or anything, but like uh the thing with when you have dialogue pop up at the bottom of the screen, and then like you have like the pixel portrait on the and the dialogue box, and then like the
Right.
text scrolls like slowly, like the typewriter effect. That is like almost exclusively an RPG um visual feature, like a
True.
visual feature of an RPG, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
old school RPGs.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
And
agree.
uh and another one that I caught, and this one actually drove me crazy, was the following mechanic for the dog. So I know this is like such a minor thing. I know this is gonna sound crazy, okay? But the dog, how the dog like follows you around, like it trails behind you,
Mm-hmm.
like it trails behind you, like 4 feet or whatever. That trailing effect. So usually that trailing effect is added into a game to represent the fact that somebody is meaningfully in your party.
Right.
You don't do it the other way around. You don't say, I'm going to add the trailing effect first because I like how it looks. I like the fact that
The dog is
I want to
following
have it
you.
look like, yeah, like, you don't, it seems like it's been worked around like back.
Oh, like it's deceptive. Like you bought the game thinking like the dog's in your party to actually like
Yes.
you're gonna combat with them, and then he ends up dying. Yo, is the fucking following effect even? Did you play all of it?
No, not even used. That's exactly my point. It's like,
That's
and yeah,
I didn't even think about that, bro. Holy shit, nice catch. Cause like
And
yeah,
it's
it's
like
only done once, and then I've never seen like I didn't play the furry portion of it like shit I don't know what it was. Um,
Town.
is that what it was called for real?
No, it'd be funny though.
Okay, I played all of the office level, and like I didn't there was no following or anything like that. So yo, good catch. I didn't even because like it was only used once, so I wouldn't have remembered it, right? So
Yeah.
yeah,
And it's like, and what's the other thing? The other thing is just like just the fact that you can move around in 8 directions. You have your top-down view with your sprite. It very much looks like the camera view. The camera view is like positioned and just looks exactly like a top-down RPG like Chrono Trigger or something. It looks very much like Chrono Trigger as far as like camera view and just pixel art style and stuff like that, right?
mm,
And just the fact that you can move around your character in 8 directions, walk up to something, press interact, and then walk up to the shelf and then you press interact and a dialogue box comes up. You know what I mean? That's like reserved. I don't want to like gatekeep or anything, but like I feel like that's like reserved for like RPGs. Like when do you see those kind of mechanics in
yeah.
another game that's not it's not an RPG, right? So my point is I feel like there are all these like visual just kind of visual like surface level features that kind of re reassure your brain like hey, like this is definitely an RPG.
But
Are
it's
you enjoying
not.
my RPG? You know what I mean? But then like there's no RPG mechanics, right? And this is another thing I thought of that I think is funny, but it should mean something. Maybe this is just like schizophrenic rambling, but like I feel like this should mean something. And that is uh you've heard like the phrase like RPG mechanics, like a game with RPG mechanics, right? Like
Right.
like you'll say
Turn-based
like
combat,
well,
what picking up items and modifying your stats, shit like that. Yeah.
I guess what I meant is in a game that is not an RPG, right? So you might have like a shooter game, and then it's like a shooter game that has some RPG mechanics.
Talking to NPCs, doing quests.
Does that make sense? But like,
Yeah.
have you played a game like that?
Fallout.
Like what's that?
Fallout.
Oh yeah, oh, yeah, Fallout. I mean, Fallout. Yeah, Fallout originally started more of it as an
Yeah,
RPG.
it
Yeah,
was top-down
yeah,
RPG. Yeah. Turn-based
yeah. You're
action.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then yeah, it moved to first-person shooter. Yeah, so Deus Ex is another example, right? So Deus Ex, it's a first-person shooter. On a technical level, it's a first-person shooter, but it's has RPG mechanics, right? You can I don't know if you played Deus Ex, but you can like
Mm.
you can you can't level up, but you have like different skills you can spec into, and you can get skill points for completing objectives and stuff like that. So it's a first-person shooter, Deus Ex, that is, with RPG mechanics, right? So where I'm going with this is if you have a game like that, where you have, for example, a shooter game with some RPG mechanics, you can at least list out what those RPG mechanics are, hypothetically.
Right.
Like you can at least like say like so for, like I just did for Deus Ex. So I can say like it's primarily a shooter game, but it has this, and this, which are RPG mechanics, right? So for Heartbound, what are the RPG mechanics you can list? You know what I mean?
The
Like,
scrolling text. It has the okay. So let's coin the term, dude. It's a RPG visual novel or a RPG novel. And that's pretty
I don't
much
know.
what it is. Like, cause from what I've seen, that like there isn't really any RPG mechanics besides
Right. And
besides the first boss fight, and even that, like that can't be. Undertale works because Undertale had a consistent, and I consider Undertale RPG because it had a
oh,
consistent combat mechanic, um, that you played as the little heart and you dodge shit. That was the consistent combat mechanic.
yeah.
Heartbound's combat system would have been tailored to each enemy that you would have fought. That's why he didn't implement it in anywhere else in the game besides that first fight because each of the it wasn't what is it he would have to design each fight. He would have to design each fight tailored to that specific character.
Manually, yeah. And
Yeah.
And look, that might
It's
be,
not. It wasn't reusable.
yeah. I'm not gonna say it's completely impossible. There might be a way to do it. There might be a way to have like those pop-up mini games, and then still have,
It would take too much time because you have
yeah,
to do all the artwork for it, and then find different ways. Like you can't have the same. You can't have the same. Press the three eyes, and then just like maybe like another boss has like it's a fucking Jack in the Box. So press the three Jack in the Box and wait for him to pop out so you can smack him with the axe. Undertale does it great because you're dodging through different patterns. It's akin to a shmup. You're dodging like bullet hell. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
can use object pooling and do all kinds of crazy like designs and stuff for Undertale, or like give it a jumping mechanic for this boss fight and actually like jump on platforms to dodge shit. Heartbound, you can't do that with its combat. And I even mentioned that before whenever I did my review of it. Is like the combat. There's a lot of opportunity for combat in that game, but it was never implemented. And like I'm thinking, like now that I'm thinking about it now, it's just because it would take too long and it'd be too hard to redo or put in that the custom fights for each character.
And you could be right.
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean, I'm not like a professional as far as like game designer by any means. So I mean, you could be right that it would just be, it just wouldn't work. Um, it- my thought was maybe there could be a way to make it work with like, I guess what I mean by that is like
It
with like
could
some,
work. It could work. Like anything's possible. It's just
yeah,
the time. Bro. It's been 8 years now. If he were to do this, it
right,
would be
right.
20
I'm just saying.
years.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, just hypothetically, like, it might be possible to do like pop-up mini games and then also have like RPG stats that somehow tie into to that stuff. So
I
then you
don't
could
know.
kind of
Yeah.
justify, and then you kind of justify calling it an RPG, right? That's kind of what I mean. I'm not sure if it's like, it might not really mesh well. I don't really know. Like, maybe there's a way to do it. Maybe there's not.
I
But
don't think like there's no you're not grabbing items to increase your stats or do anything like that. There's no level up system whatsoever. It literally is just an interactive experience with an RPG skin.
it, that's pretty much how I feel too. And the funny thing is, like, I know you're saying like there's no XP, there's no items. Really, all those things tie into each other. It's like if you have one, you have the other. So like
Right,
if you
right.
have XP, you have levels, and then if you have XP and levels, you have items,
Yeah, yeah.
and then you have attacks. It's like they all tie into each other. So
Right,
you
right,
can't
right.
really like, yeah. So like,
It's
uh,
nothing. It's a shell. It's all
it's,
narrative. It's all narrative.
yeah.
Walking sim.
And so,
Which is,
but
I'm not trying to gatekeep people from telling their story. If this is what you want to do, please don't take that. If you're watching this, don't take that away. If you want to make a game like this, or like Heartbound, and just tell a story with the art, and have an RPG skin to it, do it. I'm sure there's better ways to do it. Don't let Heartbound be the fucking the ice breaking video game that does it. You know what I mean? I mean, don't let it be the only one out there. I'd like to see a better one done. I'd like to see someone who's actually got more talent and able to convey a good story and use this and use that medium or
it's
genre or
funny
skin.
because I literally like almost had the same thought. Like I've gone through that same thought in my head where like I don't want to like say that like
You
you can
can't
never
do
do
it.
this.
Yeah.
I don't want to gatekeep like I don't want to gatekeep like what what a game has to be or whatever.
Right. Right. Because it could
At the
be
same
anything. You can make anything you fucking
right.
want. That's the whole beauty of it.
But at the same time there is you have to like represent what you're making with like some kind of like honesty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
It's just
that's pretty
bad
much what my
delivery. I think it was just bad delivery. This is his second game that he ever fucking made, or third game, whatever. It's just bad delivery, bad design. That's
yeah.
what I chalk it up to.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
But
basically.
he fucking
And that
millionaire off of it. I don't know how. Like, so
right. So
maybe I'm wrong.
maybe we're the ones who are wrong.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. We he has the right idea.
Yeah.
He has the exact right idea. Just make a game that just oversell,
Yeah.
But Yeah, so I mean, just the fact that it was marketed so heavily as an RPG. Now, granted, he would call it an experimental RPG and things like that, but like,
Yeah.
but like when you add a word like that, you say, oh well, the reason it doesn't have XP and items and stats and combat
It's a
and weapons
cover
and
up.
skills and abilities, the reason it doesn't have all that is because it's an experimental RPG. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? You're kind of like
It's
that
his.
word is doing
It's a shield. It's
that
a
word is
shield.
it's it's doing a lot of heavy lifting,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
put it like that. It's like if I were to say I'm making an experimental racing game, what would you envision?
Uh, Racing game, jetpack. Uh.
Oh, racing with jetpacks, yeah, instead
Yep.
of cars,
Yep.
right? Yeah, exactly. Racing on like the backs of like emus or something like that, or ostriches or whatever, for
Something that
like
hasn't been
flying
seen.
in.
Something that hasn't been seen. Right. Uh,
Yes, but
a car game where you like can flip like a racing game where you have to flip gravity. Right. You got to flip your
right,
car's gravity. Shit like that.
exactly. But the main point is you would still be racing,
Yes.
right?
Yes. That's the
so
main. Yeah.
so so that's kind of where I'm at. It's like if you say
So
an
he should
experimental
rebrand it.
RPG,
He should rebrand it to experimental visual novel.
yeah, if you
Yeah.
yeah, basically yeah. So if
Yeah.
you say like you're making an experimental RPG, you at least have to have some RPG in the in the
Mechanics and
in the
shit.
mix, and
Yeah.
but anyway, that's the there okay, so there is one more reason that I'm deciding to do this, and that is Secret of Evermore, which is he referenced several times on his Pirate referenced Secret of Evermore several times on his like online pages, uh, where he's talking about Heartbound.
Oh, I didn't know
Uh,
that.
yeah, so on one of his pages, he is just saying he's listing his inspirations, and he says his main inspirations are, if I remember right, Secret of Evermore, Secret of Mana, and Earthbound, and maybe one more thing. And there's another page where he says that he was talking with Toby Fox, the guy who made Undertale, I think,
Yeah.
right? And he said that Toby Fox told him that Heartbound reminded him of Secret of Evermore.
Okay.
But the thing is, he was kind of using that statement as, in my eyes, it kind of came across as like, because there was in the context of where I'll have to show you like the page and where he says that Toby Fox said that to him, but in the context of where he made that comment, there's no reason to say that Toby Fox said that, if that makes sense.
Right.
So it kind of feels like it was being used as a little bit of an extra, what would you call it? Authority, I guess. Like, hey, this big, kind of high profile guy said that my game reminded him of Secret of Evermore. So, you know, it's basically Secret of Evermore,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's kind of how it read to me, right? And the reason that stuck out to me is because Secret of Evermore was like one of my favorite games when I was a kid. So to see him kind of use that as a comparison, it kind of irked me a little bit because I don't. There's
They're
nothing
not
really,
comparable. They're not
Yeah,
comparable.
that's
Secret
it.
Evermore
Yeah, and that's
has
that's pretty
has
much it. And
RPG
yeah,
mechanics.
exactly,
Right. Yeah.
exactly. So
Yeah.
that's I just wanted to mention that one thing. I mean, that's pretty much we've already talked about why it's not, but yeah, it didn't sit right with me because like I said, it was one of my favorite games when I was younger, and yeah, it just like, if you're gonna say that like you're trying to make, something inspired by this game, I would it would be nice if it had more to it, I
He's a
guess that's all.
liar. He's a
Yeah.
liar. The Secret Evermore is it SNES?
Yeah, Super
Okay.
Nintendo, yeah.
Okay.
I'm using something called SDL2, which I I kind of consider it a wrapper. I think it's not technically a wrapper, but it's kind of interfaces with OpenGL.
Okay.
And it's just kind of something you can use to grab input and for rendering for OpenGL.
Did you
But
use
other than
this?
that,
Did you learn this in Full Sail? The SDL2?
Uh, SDL2, no. I mean C++, yes,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
SDL2 is just something that is just it's um just something I kind of tried after the fact. And
Okay.
it's a pretty, you know, it's easy enough to just get input to check for input and then just kind of do basic 2D rendering. It's not really applicable for 3D, but
Did you start with a
um
triangle? Did you do the triangle?
uh not for SDL, no. For
No.
3D, yeah. If I'm just working with OpenGL, yeah, you always start with a triangle, yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah,
Man, I tried my hand at it, man. I suck at it. Oh well, I did a triangle and like colored it and stuff. This is one of my passions is doing what you're doing is kind of making my own like not using an engine. You know what I mean? That's what I really want to tackle one of these days is kind of like going through OpenGL and making my own uh, game out of it. Not even maybe even a game engine. Just something I can use. A proprietary thing for me. So, but this is awesome,
yeah.
dude. This is sick.
I have mixed feelings on engines because it's like so for one thing, it is really nice to be able to like just get right like go as what would you call it? Like as like deep level with your code
Right.
because it actually makes many things it makes easier when you can like actually like access like code like directly, right? It makes some things easier.
You know what
Now
everything does.
it what's that?
Yeah, I said you know what everything does whenever you start from the ground up.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you set it up. Yeah.
Hmm.
Now that's the downside though. The setup if you're gonna like set up your own systems and stuff, it can take some time.
Right.
Um, so I don't know. It's hard for me to want to recommend somebody to actually code something in just like manually themselves. I guess I just say it's up to you basically.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
I
when I
can
was
agree with that. I always tell people as a beginner like pick an engine and then to like start remaking some of the classics like Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Arkanoids, like doing arcade
yeah, that's
titles
good
to
advice.
yeah.
Yeah, when I was uh in school, when I was like nearing the end of it, was when engines started like Unity and stuff started becoming more popular. So it was kind of like this big discussion, uh, of back and forth of like whether people were saying that like writing it yourself is better or using an engine is better. My
Right.
cat is running around and screaming, uh, so I might have to like go grab her,
No worries,
but
no worries.
if I hear her keep screaming, but she gets like really like uh I don't know she was like a stray, so I think
She
she has
got
like a abandoned
PTSD.
genuinely no like literally. So the only other things that I use are Krita, which is just
Krita,
a
okay. Yeah, I know Krita.
yeah. And I just use this because it's free. Here's my NES palette, just a bunch of image files, and
And you drew
that's
these
pretty
out,
much
or
it.
did you draw all these out, or is this your did
Oh,
you
yeah, I drew all these.
you drew everything?
Yeah,
Oh, very good work. Very good work. This
yeah.
is really
Oh, yeah.
good.
It's
This
not
is
it's
really
not like a
good.
sprite pack or anything. Yeah, I drew everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Now,
See, I thought it was a sprite pack. This is really good work, man. Kudos.
oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, no, I definitely use references, right? Like I have
Of course, yeah. Art, stuff's not built in a vacuum. You know what I mean? Art's not
yeah.
made
So
in a vacuum.
this is Harvest Moon,
Hmm.
and Harvest Moon is one of the games that I'm trying. I'm kind of using somewhat of the style from at least as far as pixel art goes. Um, but yeah, I mean yeah I'm not yeah I haven't used any packs or anything like that.
Okay.
I'm just kind of doing it all myself.
Are you using
Yeah,
grid-based movement for your game,
grid-based movement. What do you mean by that?
like A-Star Pathfinding or anything like that? Like for movement, like how are you moving? I saw earlier, like whenever you're pushing a block, do you move by square? Do you move your character by
Okay.
square?
So actually, let me show this. Um,
You built this Eon Map Editor?
yes. So I made this for another project that I'm also working on. I'm working on like a different game, but that's like a well, that's another topic, I guess. But I'm working on this other RPG, but well, I am not done with it.
Mm,
So I just figured I'd repurpose this editor for this. So I made this in C sharp,
this is
and
slick.
yeah, and so about you asked if it's on grid basically. So uh,
I figured the tile
all that this
placement
is,
would be on grid. I was talking more about the
yeah,
movement.
tile
Yeah.
placement is on grid, of course.
Yeah.
Um, all that this editor can really do, it's really minimal. So I have this tile placing. So tile placing. Why isn't it working? There we go. Tile placing.
Okay.
Right. I can right click to copy the current tile, whatever. Um, and you can switch to other maps.
Oh.
Right. So it just has them all there. And you can add removes maps, which is pretty whatever.
How do you determine where to put this in game? Like how do you load these maps in? Oh wait, I think I know how. Okay, all right. So you're teleporting to it. So like I saw like whenever you walk off screen or walk into another room, like the camera like your camera doesn't no, your camera follows. Does your camera follow throughout the map? Do you have like a
Nope, you're
boundary?
right. It instantly clips over. Yeah, it instantly clips over.
Yeah, it instantly clips over. But while you're walking on the map, does the camera follow, or you kind of, or is your character is your camera positioned in one spot, and your character just navigates through the map, or through that map area?
Um,
Is there a camera follows what I'm?
it's yeah. So it's I'm trying to set this up here. It follows up to the point of the map boundary.
Okay, so it does have it's
Like,
yeah, all right. It's clipping or
oh,
not clipping. It's a let me see. Yeah, just walk
it's clamping. Yeah, clamping.
clamping. That's it, not clipping. Sorry.
So yeah, so I have a no clip, so I can run through stuff. But
Yep.
yeah, so it's the camera follows, but
Yep.
as I reach the end of the map,
It
then it stops.
clamps.
Right.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool.
And yeah, so this is you asked how it loads. Everything is binary, so the maps get compressed into like a binary file basically.
Yep.
And yeah, so every map is the way that this works, the simplest way I could think to do map information is that every tile is three unsigned chars. I don't know if you know what. Yeah, you know what unsigned chars are probably, but it like an 8-bit data type basically.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Yep.
And so there's one like a char is like 0 through 255 if you
Yep.
didn't know that.
Yep.
Like yeah,
Yep. Yep.
okay, yeah. So yeah, so it's and that's like the smallest like the like chunk of data that you can hold, right? And
Right.
you
So
know,
you
it's
assign
not
all these tiles that, and then it loads it in by that.
yeah, so every tile is one char to represent which index on the the visual tile sheet, right?
Yep.
And then there's one char for what this is like different kinds of events. So the stop sign is obviously a blocker,
But are you
and these are
limited? Are you limited to what you can put in the game because you're using chars? So like you're limited to what 256 or 255. So you like are you limited to how many tile sets you can have within there, or can you double up on
yes and
chars?
no, kind of. So okay, this is my first tile sheet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is it. So this is all 256
Oh,
tiles
okay. All right. All right. All right.
for this person. But that's just one tile sheet. So all I have to do is like
Make another
I
one.
can just you know just make other maps use a different tile sheet. So
Okay.
that's pretty much what I mean. So that's there's not really going to be any limitation. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I have like a second as I said a second char for like what kind of event it is. If it's like a blocker, is it a teleporter, is it a chest or whatever. And then just one more. The last char is just an ID. So it's like so for this right, you have these two teleports, and they would have the same ID representing that they're a teleport, right? So
Mm-hmm.
like like a 2 would represent being a teleport, but I have to distinguish between these two. So that's like the third value, right? So
That's the
0 and
invent
1 in this
data.
case.
Yeah. So 0 would be the
Yeah.
entrance, and 1 would be the exit, something like that.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
And that's it, right? So it's like it's really basic like as far as like like map data, the map data is really like not uh advanced or not complex, I should say. But uh but yeah, I can just switch between these two like, tile placing mode, event mode, and then export it and
This is fucking
pretty much
slick,
it.
dude. This is really cool. This is awesome. I
Oh,
like it.
thank you.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
this is slick. Um,
Yeah, and it does what I need it to do, right?
yeah. Well, dude, I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the game. I wish you luck on your development journey, and bro, release it, man. Like finish it. What what's an ETA? You got an ETA on it? What's your working hours like? What do you how long are you putting into the game
Um,
weekly?
I'm thinking 32. No, I
Yeah,
mean, I don't know. I'm gonna try to get it done. I mean, I'm not gonna get it done by the end of this year. I can tell you that.
yeah.
But I am not gonna try to spend too long on it. You know what I mean? I'll just put it that way.
How you gonna handle the ending? Because like you you gotta wait for Heartbound to come out, or how you gonna? I guess we'll find
Well,
out. I guess we'll find out.
yeah, I mean, hopefully, look, in all honesty, hopefully he does finish Heartbound. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if that'll happen. Hopefully he does. But, if it gets to the point where I'm, just needing an ending and like, he's still, not Heartbound is not out, then I'll just make something up. It is what it is. But
Yeah,
yeah,
fair enough. Fair enough.
I
Well,
I I, I think it will be a good thing actually though if he finishes Heartbound. But we'll see.
yeah. Well, man, I do appreciate you coming onto the channel and kind of going over your project. Guys, if you want, go check out Iron Eye. I'll have a link to his YouTube channel in the description below. Please go over there, give him a like, support him, and I'm sure you'll be entertained by what he has to offer. It looks really cool. He knows his shit. All right,
Appreciate it.
don't let him say otherwise. He knows his shit. Um, but any closing thoughts, man? Anything you want to get off your chest before we hop off here?
Uh, no. Go make games, as he would say, right?
All right.
Right? Make what you want. I'll just put it that way.
All right. Well, thank you again for coming on to the show.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.